here we go. Podcast 239. Special guest Benji, if you ever hear him in the background.
Yeah. Right now he's being an idiot, and the ball is going straight up the wall and then back down. So this could be an adventure.
Yeah, he takes over his dad. So stupid, but yeah, it's all good though. But welcome, guys, to the podcast. This one's going to be a whirlwind. Obviously, this is when we like to highlight all our winners. So congratulations to everybody that was part of the 2026 Masters Nationals. Obviously, we had quite the environment that we had to play in with a lot of heat and humidity and everything else like that. But we'll share our thoughts personally afterwards because we are the last guests, if you can say that. But we're going to get started today because we have a lot of people on. We have 10 different groups coming in. And we're going to start off with our tournament master singles champion, Connor Belbin.
Hi, Connor.
Hey, guys.
Hey, man. Welcome aboard.
Thanks for having me.
Congratulations.
Yeah, it's kind of surreal to win that. That was kind of wild.
First, Connor, how old are you?
24.
24. Unreal. To win this at such a young age is pretty special for sure. And to do it in the fashion you did too. Winning 5 straight games to get into the stepladder at the end. And then dominating it. Like you were incredible. First game coming out shooting 418 in no doubtedly the highest pressure game you've ever played in.
Yeah, it seems like I do have decent wins in that environment though. Like track record wise, like wins that just quiet like that, and I'm ready to go. Like I guess I focused a bit better, I suppose. But I wasn't expecting a 400 game though. I knew I was throwing strikes. I looked up in the 10th frame and seen a 405, 1 ball to go. I was like, okay, at least get 5 pins here. Right, try to get the high single, but try not to plug the 3, right?
Yeah, for sure. Did you guys play Hopedale throughout the qualifying, or was that just for the stepladder?
We did that day 2. Singles were there day 2.
Yeah, nice.
So quickly, just to kind of touch base, I know you, Dexter, mentioned that it was 5 in a row that you finished with wins in order to get that 3rd seed. But I know Matt obviously told us the story about the last game, right? You guys had an opportunity to maybe tie in points where you and Colton and Matt would have to have a roll off, and you had to beat him, and he let you go first and 10 and win ball for ball, and you threw 3 against him and shut him out. Obviously, Matt's a formidable opponent. He has quite the resume himself, but that's pretty impressive there, Connor.
Yeah, when we came into that, I didn't know the stats at that point. I just knew like it was getting close. I don't really like to follow stats when it's that close in a tournament. So like a couple people came over and said, "Good luck in this last game." I was like, "Oh, no pressure, right?" But so I knew. So we're the last lane to finish, me and Matt. And I was like, okay. It was like a 6-pin game, I believe. And he let me go first. I was like, okay, try to control the nerves a bit here and settle in. And then, like I said, when ball for ball, I assume it was great to watch for the crowd. It was cool.
Yeah.
Well, I expected him to go first, though, when in that situation. But
Matty's always one to really go. He likes the pressure on him, I think, a little bit. He's very good at that, and he always usually takes the second turn. So, he has a lot of praise. I think he almost had a crush on you afterwards. He talked about
he was great. He was great.
So I mean that says a lot, right? So obviously, like Dexter mentioned, you guys had you shot a 418 or shot 400 in the first match against Michael Pelishati. Michael's a great opponent. And then you played DJ. So what was kind of your thoughts going into the event from playing Michael, then going on to play DJ?
Well, for most of it was just the same process, right? I had a fan there, try to keep cool and breathe. That's what Andrew helped a lot too. Just remind him to breathe in between the 2 frames. Because I don't have a whole lot of TV formats experience per se, only from like NBTs or that type of stuff. So when I got up there, I was like, okay, it's just you in the lane here, you and your opponent, take it one game at a time. I wanted to try to get 2 games possible because that third game is always stressful in a tiebreaker situation. Yeah. So it was like either lose 2 or win 2, just get it. But no, I had the same process, just like staying all your time and just trying to keep the hand loose.
Yeah. Obviously,
and of course both are great opponents too, right? It was a really good final.
I always will say I had the opportunity to play master singles. Any one of those 8, including yourself, are all well deserved there. Any one of them can be in any different spot over the weekend. So Michael's played very well on tour. We've known him for quite some time, and obviously DJ has quite the resume himself. So obviously you won. You didn't lose one single game the whole time during the stepladder. You've had some time to think about it and maybe digest the national championship. What does it mean to you?
Well, I think the biggest eye opener, I was like, I'm going to be in that book going forward forever. Like my name will be there with that winning is like, because I don't consider myself an elite bowler, never really have, but now it's like to have my name aligned with some of these other like greats in the sport. It means a lot to me. And the support there too was crazy. Like the whole NL contingent was there supporting, and all the provinces there rooting me on. It was nice.
I think you need to reconsider how you view yourself.
Well, after this week, probably a little bit.
Your composure is really what's going to set you apart. Like watching you play, you were so calm, reserved, like you internalized everything. You showed no emotion out there. You looked relaxed. And the way you throw the ball is so compact, so naturally like controlled. This isn't a fluke. You won this because you're very, very good, and you're both physically and mentally good. So change that opinion.
There was
I appreciate that.
A lot of people obviously that probably haven't seen you, Connor, play that much before, but they were comparing your style kind of close to Bobby Torville. It's very short backswing, lots of follow through. And I totally agree. I think your guys' styles are very, very similar. So Bobby's had lots of success. So I think it's a good recipe for
that's a great comparison. Yeah.
I have to say I was a big fan of the guns. When you threw a bunch in a row and you came back, and I was like, yeah, that's pretty sweet. That's my go-to like team event celebrations. I was like, in the singles it takes forever to calm back down, so I was like, let's try not to celebrate too much, just try to keep it straight and neutral, but every now and then it's hard not to do it, right?
It's awesome you say that though, because like you're saying that you don't have a lot of experience in this format, but that is something that's really, really key in that. You can't get too high and too low in singles because those peaks and valleys come and go so quickly. So for you to recognize that already and just know that you got to keep it good and level, it's awesome.
So Connor,
I think every time I celebrate, I think the next frame is like I might have plugged it, or it's like it came in extra tight and got chopped. So I was like, as long as I kept it like half cool, it's like had half a shot at getting strike. So try to remember that going forward.
Yeah.
So just before we leave you here, Connor, what are some of your goals for next season or in the future? Obviously, you want to come back and repeat your title or defend it. But what are some of the things on the horizon that you're thinking of?
Well, right at the top of my head is trying out for the open singles. I have yet to do that. I've done the team, so I've never tried and bought into the open singles side of it. So now after winning the Masters, I have a little more incentive to try to potential double crown in the next however many years. That's the long-term goal now.
Yeah, awesome.
And I guess again you want to bring your talents to Metro 4, I hear from Cookie, but we'll leave it.
Yeah, it seems like a bit of a free agent to think, but we'll see. We'll see where I end up. I don't know.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Connor, for coming on, and we congratulate you on another gold medal. Well, on your gold medal. Congratulations.
Perfect. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks, man.
See you, Connor.
Congratulations.
See ya.
All right. Well-spoken young man there. I can say that now. He's 10 years younger than me. So the next one we're going to bring in, hopefully it all works. We're going to bring in our senior single champion, Mr. John Glynn.
Audio?
Hello.
Hey, John!
Hey, we got you. Perfect.
It worked.
Amazing.
All right.
Welcome aboard, buddy.
Welcome
Thank
there.
you. Thank you.
Congratulations. How good does this feel for you?
It was pretty awesome. It was something that was never on my radar. It was never something I ever really thought about. So I was excited when I met the team the past few years, and I always focused on that. And this was just something that came right out of nowhere for me.
So with you being on the seniors, it runs obviously different from tournament division where you're competing in both the singles and the team at the same time. Were you following the stats for both at all?
I went in with the goal of believing that if I bowled the team and concentrated on the team, the singles would look after itself.
Yep.
So obviously, at the end of each game, I knew whether I won the single spot with my total, but I didn't pay any attention to anyone who was around me. I didn't watch to see what another guy was doing or another lady was doing. I focused mainly on my own game, and I knew at the end of the day how I had done, but I didn't really, like, even the last day going in, I knew I had a medal guaranteed, but I didn't watch the other games. I concentrated on my own. I lost my first game that day, and then when I won the next one, it was my teammates who told me that I won the gold medal, not me knowing myself.
That's awesome.
I think that's pretty special, right? I mean, especially when your teammates are congratulating you before you. That means obviously you guys are a tight-knit group, right?
The worst thing was I didn't believe him.
I like that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we all know Baxter. Baxter probably is one that he probably give you a hard time or trick you a little bit there, right? So it was good having probably Baxter as a coach for you as well. So.
Well, I've been around Baxter now since I came back to bowling in 2016, and he's one of my best friends, and it was a pleasure to have him be on the lane with him, and it's been a pleasure to have him as a coach. And like I told him that day, I wouldn't have been anywhere close to achieving my goal that day if it wasn't for him.
Absolutely. So I have to kind of ask the elephant in the room here a little bit here, John. Obviously, we know that you guys are a bowling family. Is there some bragging rights at home now? Because you're the first one to have a singles championship. So.
Yeah, we won't go there. I'll hang on to my rights, but I won't give the boy too much of a hard time.
You'll leave that to Shane.
Yeah.
Yeah, Shane has already gone down that road.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, and you completed all 21 games. I mean, you got that on Shane too. So you can give Shane a hard time on that too. But yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think the Glynn household's pretty proud of your accomplishments there. I know how he is about both of them are about history and about accomplishments, and I think that's a crowning achievement for the Glynn family, though.
Yeah, I think we all celebrated pretty good, and it's something I'll always have and I'll always remember. But yeah, hopefully someday I've stood behind Brad and Ryan a lot in their careers, and hopefully someday I'll get to stand behind them as they hang their single goal around their necks.
Honestly, I would just say it's just a matter of time. It's sometimes you have to be in the right place in the right time, and I know Brad for sure will have a lot of opportunities. So
yeah, I would think he still has a few left, just for sure.
Absolutely. So now obviously you have this gold medal here. What are your plans or thoughts for the future? Obviously you want to come back next year and defend your title. Or are there any other events that you play that you want to do just as well at?
No, I don't. I bowl in a senior league at Paradise Bowl with my wife, and that's the only bowling I do besides the Masters. I don't do any other tournaments or anything like that, and I just enjoy the Masters. I enjoy the fellowship with the people I bowl with, and it's a great event. So if I make it again, then I'll certainly be very pleased, and if I don't, I'll enjoy the sets that I bowl trying to qualify.
Absolutely, yeah. It's definitely a feat just making it out in Newfoundland with the amount of people that try out for it. So, yeah, you definitely done a great job there, John.
Thank you.
Perfect. All right, I think honestly, John, I do appreciate you hopping in on here. I think we're going to get to our next guest here.
I appreciate you guys having me. I really do.
We enjoy having you on. You're definitely our favorite Glenn. So thank you for having me.
It's not even close.
Thanks very much, guys. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, John.
Congratulations.
Take care.
Okay. Perfect. Yeah, congratulations to John. It's definitely exciting times in the Glenn household there. We're going to move on to our. Sorry?
Before we move on to look at Newfoundland as a whole here the last how many years? Like they've got all three single or 3 out of 4 singles titles in the scratch division. They got a seniors title in the singles division. Like Newfoundland's crushing it.
Their YBC program, their youth movement has been phenomenal, but so much of that we have to contribute to NBT as well. Them. I think they struggled in the past, even though they had just an immense amount of talent out there. But now that they have an opportunity to compete on a regular basis without having to travel across the country to do it, I think their talents are really starting to show, and I think they're getting the experience that goes with it, and it's awesome.
Yeah.
And I will say too, I think a little bit of winning goes a long ways for confidence, and it's definitely infectious. If you see how they've been playing lately,
atmosphere, right?
100%. That once you earn it and learn it, it becomes a little bit easier down the road, right?
Yeah.
You know what we're talking about, right, Kerry? Now that you came up to Edmonton,
I'm not getting involved in it. All right. We're gonna move on to our next group of ladies that are champions. We're going to invite our tournament ladies champions from Southern Ontario. We have Charlotte, and we have Sarah, and we have Sarah. So welcome, ladies.
Good job, Timmy.
Hey guys.
Hey everyone.
Welcome aboard.
How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Everyone can hear and all that good stuff.
Charlotte, you doing okay?
She looks a little frozen there.
Yeah.
Charlotte froze.
So somebody should screenshot that. They might want to use that for later. But welcome everyone to the podcast. We appreciate you guys coming on, and congratulations again. First of all, maybe can I run through your thoughts of the event? I know obviously everybody's kind of had their fair share of the grind from it.
Oh, Charlotte, you good?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, go ahead.
So have you guys recovered from the weekend?
Yeah, I guess a bit.
Yeah. It was a long haul.
It was
a long haul.
It's difficult. I think by far the hardest tournament I've ever been in. That's for sure. I don't even know if you would call it bowling half the time. So, yeah.
I would agree.
Yeah, it was different. It was definitely not our normal event. That's for sure. Oh, did we lose Sarah? Okay. We have a different Sarah in here. Okay. Okay. All right.
No, we're all back.
Yeah, it was a different event than we are used to for sure. Yeah, and a lot of times we couldn't play the way we would normally want to. I don't think that diminishes anything in my mind. At the end of the day, the people that figured it out did well. right? So that's a big part of it. Did we lose Charlotte again now too? Okay,
Oh, is it just me here now?
it is
Oh
just
my
you. Yeah. Okay, all right. Okay. Hi again,
I
Sarah.
think it's back now.
Yeah. And I feel like Charlotte is definitely freaking out in the background.
So with you ladies, maybe go through the process on things that you guys had to change or work through, because it was a grind for everyone. Looking at the tournament ladies scores, obviously they're not indicative to everybody's talents. It was a tough grind for everybody.
Yeah. I don't know if we have the other two ladies, but I can start.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I was dealing with just being pregnant on top of this, so it was a bit of a mental game for myself from the beginning, because I had to change just the way I bowled in general. But having those conditions on top of that, changing sliders. I mean, there was a number of times where I almost wanted to just take all sliders off and just try just the Velcro. That's probably the slipperiest thing that you could use. I mean, all of us on here were taking our sliders off, putting, the socks on, full sock. And sometimes that didn't even matter. Your shoe was just wet. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could not imagine having to bowl in this while pregnant when it's 49 degrees with the Humidex.
Yeah, that was challenging. I don't know. It was probably more scary for the girls than it was for me, because I did fall down twice. So I know Ian was kind of really upset about that. But I did have an ultrasound. Everything is fine. We're good.
Good.
So it's all fine.
Good. And you can't even blame the weather on a different province. It's your guys' fault. You guys did this.
Yeah.
So, Sarah, you have won before, correct?
Yes, with Newfoundland. Yeah.
Right. Charlotte, this is your first Masters win?
Sarah, what about you? Is this your first one?
I think.
I don't think it is for Sarah. I think
No.
she won previous. I'm
I
not
think-
sure with Charlotte. Charlotte, did you win?
No, that was my first gold. Also, I can't hear anything when you guys are talking. Only Sarah. I can only hear Sarah.
No.
That's probably appropriate, because we'll just have Sarah relay our questions.
Yeah.
So anyways, I guess looking back at the tournament itself, when you're going through the stats, you got, it was pretty. Maybe let's talk about the early morning on the Thursday morning, right? Because I mean that was a little bit different, having to come in early for the one game. Nobody else is there. It's just you two, you and BC. What was kind of your mindset on that? It was definitely a unique situation.
Yeah, it was kind of weird. Like the whole bowling alley being quiet. So it was difficult to get a little bit into it. We were happy we could slide though, so that was nice. But a lot of us, I know myself, just not being able to slide for 2 days. My groin was a little bit sore for the first little bit, because you could actually slide. And then, I know Charlotte, you can talk more about your experience, but I know it was like, there was just that hesitation, right? Where it's like, how do I bowl again with the slide? So, but I think it was nice. So we got to just warm up a bit. I mean, it was definitely a better circumstance than just to continue bowling the night before. So.
Yeah, felt a little bit like Bambi at Hopedale for sure after taking so much. Felt like everything was like too much slide, which it wasn't, but that's just the way it feels, right?
100%. And like obviously at one point there was a 4-team race pretty much. everybody was within a, like Quebec was up a little higher, but with the games in hand, it was anybody's ball game because everybody's kind of played each other the last few games. But you guys ended up coming back and winning the last 5, right?
Yeah.
Or if you look back at it, you only lost 1 game since game 9, right?
Yeah.
So you started off a little bit slow, and then after game 9, you guys kind of picked up speed there. Was there anything different that you guys did after or changed, or it just was you kind of just bear down and work through it?
Yeah, I think we just bared down and worked through it, tried to grind it out and get every point. Like we were winning points on 170s, so just trying to win every single point we could. It was extremely tough. But yeah, I think the last day, the girls killed it. They just came out, and I don't even know if I had any pressure on bottom at all, to be honest with you, that last day. They just tore it up. So
yeah, I mean, just for everybody at home, just tell you how kind of tough the conditions were. I'm just looking at the one score, and I'm not trying to give anybody a hard time about it, but your Quebec game in game 17, where you shoot like 9.5 to an 8.5. The tournament ladies aren't like that. They're a very good bunch of ladies, and that shows how tough the conditions were. It was tough for everybody. So I'm glad you were able to persevere through it and work through it. And as a team, you guys figured out a way to win.
yeah.
And it probably helps.
Win, to be honest. Like at the end, it was just like finally it's over, and to come away with like a gold medal, it was just like, okay, everything was worth it. And I know we cried a bunch. Ian even teared up, and that got us all going because he was just so proud of us to get through that. He was like, I don't even know if I'd be able to do that. So yeah, it was definitely super emotional, and I'll probably never forget this tournament for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think anybody that played in it will. it's one for the memory books, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think as was Carrie posted, everybody was marked safe that they survived the nationals, or was it on Facebook? I think.
Yeah,
right?
I wouldn't say everyone was marked safe, but everyone survived.
Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect. Well, thank you very much for coming in on, ladies. Sorry, Charlotte, you can't hear us, and sorry, Sarah, you weren't able to come on with your internet. But Sarah, you did a bang up job and did it well. So I do appreciate everybody hopping in on here.
Awesome. Thanks for having us, and congrats to you guys as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See ya.
All right,
Thank you.
thanks, guys.
All right.
Bye.
Thank you.
I feel bad for Charlotte. She was there and couldn't hear a word that we were saying.
And like she's always wanted to be on podcast, and she was.
There's going to be another opportunity down the road. There's always.
We'll see.
StreamYard is turning in the trash, guys. We might have to invest.
But this is definitely a StreamYard issue because this has happened before too, and it's a StreamYard issue for sure.
It just honestly, I think it just motivates Charlotte to make another win, right?
Yeah.
So
Fair.
we're helping out her. I mean, really, we're just motivating, right? So, I'm not opening that message. We're gonna hop in for our next champion. We're gonna invite introduce our teaching ladies champion from Quebec. Stacy B. I'm not going to try to pronounce your last name. I apologize.
Can you guys hear me okay?
You bet.
We
Yeah,
can
can you hear us?
If you want to translate the Boisvert, it's actually Greenwood, so you can say Stacy Greenwood.
Okay,
perfect.
there we go. Perfect.
There you go.
Hi guys,
Tim's
thanks for
fluent
having
in
me.
French, so.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. Congratulations.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. It's still so surreal. I still can't get over it.
I don't doubt it. What was this? This was your first Masters Nationals, correct?
Yeah, first nationals. Yeah, I stopped bowling for 22 years, started back up, and I'm coming home with the gold. So I'm pretty proud.
That is awesome. Where are you bowling out of?
Out of Gatineau, the Gatineau area.
Yeah. But which center?
Oh, I was at Grebert and Donny,
Oh,
Okay.
two different centers. Yeah.
Awesome.
So
This was this your first year back bowling completely?
I started back last year, but being that I didn't have a set average, I had to try for the elite team. And unfortunately, I didn't make the team. So that's why I decided to try again this year for teaching.
Okay.
Awesome. I love that your second year, like your first year, you were like, yeah, I'm going to go feet first right into it, and then join 2 leagues and play masters and everything. That's awesome.
I like how you said feet first because I remember my first tournament. I didn't know anybody. So I showed up thinking I was going to intimidate all the women. And my shoe actually got stuck and I actually fell face forward. So it was actually literally feet first. So basically, kind of like other people did at this tournament where the shoes weren't
Yeah.
sliding. That's what I did my first tournament last year.
Perfect. So a little bit of experience helped you along the way.
Yeah.
yeah, I guess that's a way to break the ice, right?
Yeah.
So maybe let's
or
talk.
your kneecaps.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm glad you're not injured by any means on that. So let's talk about your tournament a little bit. Obviously, you won the gold medal, but your team portion between first and third, and you guys got silver.
Yeah,
was only 2.5 points. It was crazy close for you guys.
it was quite the emotional day on the last day. We weren't going in there thinking that it was in the bag, but I think we came in a little bit too overconfident. And like Sarah was saying, and like Charlotte was saying, the conditions were just very, very difficult. I was an emotional wreck. It was very mentally challenging. My last game, I hit the middle, I think 8 or 9 times out of 10. I must have gotten 7 head pins and I only bowled a 130. So it was very, very discouraging on my part. When we played against Manitoba and we lost literally by 2 pins. That was difficult. It was very, very difficult, and try to overcome that and try to play your next game was, like I said, for me was very mentally exhausting.
That's fair.
Especially because it is tough because you have to regroup because you're so close, right? You can't take another game off, right? But I will give you kudos. Like if you take away the 130, you're over average for the event. And I mean, if you look at the team totals or the individual totals across teaching and seniors, you probably can count on 1 or 2 hands somebody who's plus. So I mean, that itself is a really good feat there. And then again, when you goes to your singles portion, you end up not winning your last 2 games, but you still win by 2 games. So you kind of had a 4-point lead there, 4-game lead going into the last day. So you pretty much already had it clinched, I do believe, correct?
Correct. Yes.
Yeah.
I knew going in my last day that I had finished first place, but I still would have liked to win those last 2 games.
100%.
Yeah.
I mean, and obviously, I think, I don't know how it is for you, but I think most people will probably be focusing on trying to get that team goal when you guys are so close. The singles is there, but it's tough when you're not playing the person across from you, right? You're playing somebody else on another set.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, it was just I was mentally drained by the end of the week. Mentally, physically, not so bad, but definitely psychologically, mentally. And like you said, like I thought we had it in the bag. I thought that we were leaving with gold for the teaching and for the singles, and we ended up with the silver. But I mean, Saskatchewan played extremely well. I mean, they deserve it. I think every team deserves to leave with a medal, honestly. Like everyone was just so friendly and so how can I say that? The atmosphere was just amazing. Like I loved it. I hope to go back next year.
I'm certain you're going to have many opportunities, Stacey, to go back and represent Quebec in some capacity, whether it's teaching or whether, honestly, like the way you played, probably any other year, you'd be right with the tournament team, right? So there is an opportunity there for you. And I will say, like, I know the teaching teams, they're usually a really good group of people that are bowling against each other and enjoy each other and supportive. I find that really, they have a close bond, I find, right? So, I guess moving forward, I mean, now we already know you came back this is your second year back.
Yeah.
I'm assuming you played YBC or grew up in bowling beforehand.
I did, yes.
So I guess moving forward, what are your goals for the upcoming season or in the future now that you're back bowling?
It's funny you say that because I felt like I had to mourn something when I got home. I even texted my coach and I said, well, what's the next step? He's like, what do you mean, what's the next step? I said, well, what do I do for the rest of the summer? He says, no, you enjoy your summer and you start back up in September. And I said, well, no, I can't just stop there. I need to keep going. I need to do something else. Like I need to practice. I need to sign up for other tournaments. I really, really enjoyed it. Now I really, really know I want more challenges. I want to, some of the girls already challenged me for next year. Some of them want to come to get the gold. And I said, no, I'm keeping the gold. I'm going for the gold again next year. So bring me those challenges. I need those challenges, but yeah, definitely I'm not stopping here. I'm not stopping here. I'm going to keep going. I don't know what the next step is, to be honest with you. I'll have to ask my coach, like what kind of tournaments can I sign up for? What are our plans? But definitely not stopping here.
Well, I think that's important. I think just find something and sign up for it and have something to look forward to, so you have something to drive you, right? Maybe Nebs is an option. That's end of August. It's close enough where like you could still throw some balls in between and still keep mid-season form, and then go out and have something super competitive in August for you. And it's drivable weather, right? And it's relatively close, so maybe that'll be an option for you.
Oh, that's not a bad idea.
I think you have a great person, and Chantel will help guide you in the right direction. She's
absolutely.
She's one of the best ambassadors you guys have out there, and I think she'd be great. And I know, like, whether it's the IP that comes out there, you guys can play. You're right across the bridge to Ottawa. And I mean, right across the bridge from Ottawa, they have I think there's a tournament in Orleans that Liam's running out there. So, I mean, that's another option.
Yeah, I think I saw something. I think Matt Leonard put something on Facebook actually today or yesterday, if I'm not mistaken, for the Orleans area.
Yeah. And Matt's another one you guys can reach out to. I think you're definitely in a great spot out there. You guys have such a good community, and you guys are very together. I think that's I have to give you kudos. Throwing some balls and practicing and getting better over the summer is what can put you over the edge or get you better for next season. So I know.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, I know the three of us after this week, we're not going to bowl.
No,
not for a while at least. So,
No.
So you have a better work ethic than us. So I do commend you on that.
At first, I kept wondering why my coach kept telling me, "Kate, left pin, right pin, center, left pin, right pin, center." I'm like, why do I have to pick up my pin so much? Now I understand.
Yeah.
Well, when like as Tom said, only 19 pluses of 120 players in the POA event, like when you're going to win matches with negative 30s and things like that, every pin is very, very important.
Big,
definitely.
We always say there's two different kinds of events. There's grinding events and there's striking events. And like this was the ultimate grinding event for sure.
But I'll be honest, it almost turned into a crying event too, because I had a few tears.
yeah. You're not the only one. Trust me.
I'm sure I wasn't.
There's lots of them out there. It was rough.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, I do appreciate you coming on, Stacey, and speaking on your championship win, and congratulations again.
Thank you so much, guys, for having me, and hopefully we'll see you in the near future.
We hope so too.
Good. Thank you so much.
Have a great night.
Congratulations.
Nice days.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Stacey.
Bye-bye.
Perfect. I mean, that's cool. Second year back and you win a gold. So
Yeah, but it sounds like she is committed. And that's what it takes. It sounds like she's like a very good competitor. She knows what it takes in anything to probably win.
Yeah. No, Eric, we have 6 games left. So after that, we're not going to play. So.
Oof.
Have you guys been practicing?
Well, yeah. All right, we're going to invite our next group of champions on from Saskatchewan. We have our teaching ladies team. So we have Kelly, Coach Dave, and Courtney going to hop in.
Well, I don't know where Coach Dave is, but
Coach Dave is at the casino.
All right.
I mean, Smart man. I mean, he can double down. I would do that for sure. Well, welcome, ladies. You're the more important ones anyways. We don't need Dave on. So congratulations on your win.
Thank you so much. It's hard to believe.
Like as we're kind of like what we're talking about, it was a little bit of a grind for everyone. So and probably glad it's over and your body gets a little bit more of a relax. But maybe talk about your weekend or your week, I guess, not your weekend, and how you guys kind of persevere through it all.
Yeah, it was probably the most challenging bowling I've ever experienced in my life. It was not only like a physical battle, like, you know, with not being able to slide and kind of telling yourself to plant and each ball really counted. It was also a personal struggle too, to, you know, you're pretty down on yourself, you know, letting your team down. But then you kind of have to stop and realize, no, everyone's also struggling with the same conditions. So it was a mental battle as well. A lot of our games came down to 7, 8, 9, 10, and we had to grind it out in the 10th frame. And it was intense. I think Kelly can agree. There was a lot of times we were like, oh my gosh, are we going to do this?
But I think we're all pretty competitive. We just put her in gear and did it.
Yeah.
Well, like looking at your guys' record there, the first 9 games, you're actually below 500, and then you win the last 12 games.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's an incredible run of 12 straight games winning, and then winning by 2.5 points.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Yeah. The last day was insane. It was probably the most challenging day as well. It was just so warm and so sticky. And every ball you throw, you go, oh my gosh, I don't want to injure myself. You know, there's been a lot of injuries.
And the night before, you know, you're going to that lane and you know you got 3 games and you're not going to slide. So,
yeah.
So, I mean, if you like, I know we did, but like when you guys know you're not going to slide and you knew you're going to be in that situation, what was some of the things that you changed or kind of worked through? Because obviously, what you guys did worked compared to everybody else.
Like 3 out of 5 of our players don't slide. Just Courtney and myself slide. So I think for myself, I tried to keep my same delivery except exactly for the slide, but I had to really rush my arm sometimes. And my first ball that I actually didn't try to slide, I had a gutter ball. So that was enough of that. And I figured, you know what, this is going to happen. I'm not going to let my team down. So you just plant your foot, throw your ball, and hope for the best. And it kind of worked for Courtney and I believe.
Yeah, that's what we did basically. I think I moved up a foot, a lot more than I've ever done before. And it was just okay, you're not gonna slide, don't slide. And sometimes I did, and I'd go, oh my god.
Yeah, no. There was people doing face plants in the building. We weren't wanting to be one of them.
Yeah, 100%. I think at the end it was like 19 individuals couldn't play at some point with all that. So I mean, and the hardest part is I think with like you guys are speaking about, you ladies, is like you have to trust it, and it's tough to trust it when you know it's not there, right? So I give you guys kudos on that. It's tough to go through that. It's definitely it's physical, but it's a lot more mental too, right? So
it was challenging to say the least. For myself, I'm a really new bowler, so I have only been working on my slide the last year. I've only bowled 4 years, and I was working on my slide the last 6 months, like really hard, and I really thought that, hey, I got this. And then to go there, and it's like, oh, I can't do this.
With you guys having 3 people, you said that don't slide.
Yes.
How much of an advantage do you think that gave you? Do you as conditions got worse, did you guys find that you guys were being more successful?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, for sure. I saw the frustration on everybody else's face on the teams that were trying, and just it was rough for them. I felt bad for them. I felt bad for Courtney and I too, but it's just how it was. Everybody had to suffer through it.
Yep.
I think we really kept our focus on lane, like frame by frame too. That really helped us. We weren't thinking of anything else. No competition. It was just getting through each frame.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Kelly,
I think that's the definition of like only the next ball matters, right?
Yes.
It doesn't matter what you did the last frame. You couldn't control that condition. You tried your best and you move forward
and you don't want to dwell on it. It's
No.
part of life, I guess.
Kelly, I think you said it perfectly in a way. You saw everybody else get frustrated, and I think as any competitor, when you see a little bit of frustration, you try to take advantage of it. It's kind of an ongoing theme with this podcast today, but for anybody out there, when you start seeing defeat in another team, it's time to capitalize. You kind of taste that blood a little bit, right? And you want to get it. So
in a nice way.
Oh yeah.
Well, maybe for you ladies, but not for us guys. If if we see somebody injured or upset, I mean, we feel bad for them, but it's time to take it over, right? So, I guess the one last question was, obviously you guys are going the last day and you only win by a game and a half. Was it a little bit chaotic? Like, as in, it was a lot of emotions everywhere, I think, right? As in, like, everybody was close. Those top three teams, any kind of way it could have happened. Quebec got second, but I mean, Manitoba could have won, right? Everything was so close.
Yeah, it depended on what the other teams did for us. Like, we knew in the last day that we were going to get a medal. We just didn't know which medal.
Mm-hmm.
And Courtney, we just played our best, right? We just did our best.
I know in our last game, it was against Newfoundland, and they really pulled out. We were neck and neck, and I think we needed six points to cinch it. And my husband was keeping score, and I was fourth, and I needed a spare to get my point. And I got a strike, I think, and it was just this most exhilarating feeling of, oh my God, I think we actually might have done something here.
Yeah,
it was wild. It was incredible.
It was exciting. Yeah, it was exhilarating for sure.
That is so awesome. Right? Forever in the record books, you ladies.
Yay!
I think that's the coolest moment of it all, right? So
that is the moment we play for. That moment where you throw the ball and you're like, it's done. We did.
Well, and we heard it was 2001 when it last was won by Saskatchewan, the gold. So a little more incentive. I'm thinking my stats are right, but it's been a while.
I trust you on
years.
that.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. So before we leave you guys, what are some of your upcoming plans or goals?
I'm golfing.
So you're not
on my
practicing in the
side some more
summer.
in September, but
obviously you guys want to go back and repeat, right? I mean, that's one of your guys.
Yes.
But
especially with it being in Saskatchewan this coming Masters. I think we're ready to try again here and defend our title.
Yeah, I need to work on consistency. I can have a high score and a low score very quickly together. So
that's bowling. That's bowling as a whole.
Yeah, I guess.
Perfect. Well, thank you very much, ladies, for coming in. Hopefully, Dave's winning at the slots, and we will.
He's gonna be mad.
Yeah, we will see you guys later. Congratulations!
Thank you for doing
so
this.
much for having us.
Congratulations, guys.
Anytime. I think it's pretty cool how all three teams were so close. I mean, that's kind of what we are hoping for. But and just especially when you come on top, it makes it a little bit easier during those pressure moments. But so that concludes our teaching ladies team. We're going to invite our next group of in, and some of our favorite people are going to be coming in for the senior team champions. We have Jim and Sandy Anderson, and we have Carol Billick.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey guys.
Hey
How you
guys.
guys doing?
Good.
Good. Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You guys
Is
did
it
it in
cooler
a
in
room.
Winnipeg?
Yeah.
A little. It's a bit warm today.
You guys did this in dramatic fashion too, eh?
We did.
3 games to go. You have to go 8-7-8 to win by 2 points. That's a hell of a finish.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you. We didn't want to make it easy on ourselves, clearly.
No, why would you?
Yeah.
Why would you? There's no fun in that.
No.
And we got a little bit of help from Alberta. In game 20, they beat BC 7-1. So that helped.
Oh, right.
So.
Also, Albertan's always helpful.
Yeah, that's what we're known for.
Yeah, we appreciate that. Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah. No, that's fantastic. Maybe let's talk about the weekend. I mean, I know all of you guys have your experience throughout many seasons. I can probably say this is probably one of your tougher nationals you guys been to. Maybe let's talk about that and how mentally strong you guys had to be, or how you could never quit any game. Every pin mattered.
Yeah, it's funny how you say the never quit thing. We're very big on rehashing the day, good, bad, ugly, whatever. And that was certainly the recurring theme through all of our meetings. Like everybody's obviously having the same issues as we are to some degree. So you could throw up your hands and say, well, I just can't do it, but there's no point in doing that. So we just kept reminding ourselves, just don't quit. Don't give up on yourself. Don't give up on the team. And it seems to have worked for us.
Yeah.
We knew what we were up against, and we tried to plan for the best, and we got lucky. We figured out a few things, and the last day was, like you say, it was pretty amazing. The last day, 23 out of 24 points.
Yeah. And I mean, the senior division has a lot of experience in it, but you guys have one of the most experienced teams that you could have. Competitively 100%. How much do you think that played into this week for you guys?
Well, I think it was huge to have that experience of the other players. Like, I don't have as much. I'm relatively new to bowling and to competitive bowling. So this is my 3rd Masters Nationals. But definitely having Jim and Sandy there with all their experience and knowledge. Russ Knight with all his experience, even though he only has his 5 Masters appearances, but he's got tons of other competitive experience. Jim Llewellyn Sr., fantastic, lots of experience there. And then Gary was a newcomer, but again, he's got lots of competitive experience. So I think that helped. We had a really good mix of people there to build on, right?
Yeah,
so.
Absolutely.
I'm going to give you a scary number. Masters only, between the 5 players and Jim, we had 84 years of nationals at Masters. So that helps a little bit.
That is
84 years. That actually makes your team a senior.
There you go, right? Right. But let me.
Now, it should be pointed out that between Russ, myself, and Gary, we have 9 years experience. So
we collectively have 84. That's the number that matters.
84, that's the important part.
The gyms have 19 each.
Yeah, there you go.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
So like with that statement, having all those experiences, have you ever guys ran into that type of situation where the conditions were just
absolutely
something
not
that you'll never experience again?
No, have never experienced it before. Certainly hope to never experience it again.
I think that's a consensus across the country for sure.
Yeah.
But it's given me an idea for next year for practice, because you never know what you're stepping into. We hope the weather is better. We can always practice for the best, but when you have to try to anticipate what could happen, you got to change how you practice.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah. Post Newfoundland Masters Nationals, I was talking about, hey, you know what? I'm gonna start practicing in a street shoe, and then like, there's almost a point where like if you can get used to playing in a street shoe 100% of the time, you might as well, because that condition will never change.
Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. But that also probably comes along with knee issues and hip issues and other things like that. But I think it'd be a good thing to practice down the road for situations like this if we ever get stuck in it again.
Well, how many people go to a nationals and expect to have to change their entire delivery and go down to a one step or no step or whatever it might be? Like, you can't walk on a carpet, or you have to stay in the pit, or it was so different.
It was so different. It was, I forget I think it was Carol from you guys, from the teaching ladies. You're teaching Marquette.
Yeah.
She was mentioning to me that Roy Thompson, her coach, Roy had and during practice, teach him. They were throwing one step just in case something happened.
Really?
And and I mean, he looks like a genius now, doesn't he? I mean, like,
doesn't he just?
Yeah. And I was like, you know what? There's some huge merit on that. Like, I would never have thought that. I know, like, Brad was throwing the ball usually about 50. Now he was throwing 34, and Tyler was doing a step out. Like, he was like finishing with his right foot. It was just like, watching. And Bobby Herman was doing something crazy too, right? I mean, like, you're right, Jim. Like, and Sandy and Carol, we never would ever think like this would be something we would ever go through. But it's a mental grind. That's what it is, right? Unfortunately,
it is.
Yeah.
Very tough mentally.
Yeah, I played 4 of the games with one step, but I felt almost comfortable doing it because just before nationals, I had hurt my leg, and I really wanted to bowl my first night of spring league, but it was actually the last day of YBC nationals. I stepped wrong. My leg was so bad. I was walking with a cane, and I had this great big brace on my knee, and I walked into the lanes. I know Sandy was doing her pre-bowl, and the look on her face was not great. She wasn't very happy to see me walking in with a cane, but I was determined to bowl that 3-game set because I didn't want to lose the first day of spring league. And so I bowled it one step, and I did not badly. So I thought, okay, I know I can do it if at least I can do something and be safe. And so 4 games out of the 21, I did that way. They weren't my best 4 games necessarily, but I think some of them weren't my worst either. So, you know.
In the tournament division, we had the Saskatchewan team had Jackson have to drop out, and they had a emergency sub there who happened to be a lawn bowler, and it was the perfect sub, right? Because very, very used to doing one step, and
that would work.
Successful at it. So for those of you wanting to look for practice in the summer, maybe lawn bowling's a thing.
It's an option.
Absolutely. Yeah. No,
I was very proud. I was very proud of the team too, because they really dealt with everything. They made sure they stayed behind the foul line. Like, there were so many teams that everybody was going down. You count the number of people going down all the time. These guys never fouled, never went for a walk down the line or down the lane. They were in charge.
Yeah.
They knew exactly what they were doing, and they took their time, and they threw the ball. And then we talked about how important the wood was. We talked important shots. Again, you can't throw your shot. You can't bowl. You have to do the best you can with what you got.
Yeah.
So we tried to do.
Yep.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I mean, like, your 80 some years of experience, you guys know how to figure it out, or willing to figure it out. You've been there, right? But obviously you're only as good as your coach. So, I mean, Jim, you're pretty good there. So
there you go.
Very
good. I'd agree with that.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna head out here, guys. But again, I want to congratulate you guys on such a great event. Obviously, again, you guys have been to plenty of nationals, and if this is one of that you guys haven't had to deal with before, hopefully we don't have to deal with it again. So
yeah.
Thanks for having us on.
Thanks for having us, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you guys very much. Always good hearing from you.
Yep.
A few years ago probably means like 75 years old, because you're 100 at least, Brian.
Yeah, I don't think Brian leaves his house. So I mean, it was at least.
I think he invented lawn bowling.
Yeah, he's probably thinking bocce. He doesn't get it. So, so we're gonna move on. We're gonna do a double one. This one, So we're going to bring on our teaching men's single champion 35 years ago. Here we go. From BC, we have Rick King, and then we have his coach, Joe.
Hey guys, welcome aboard.
Hello.
Thank you for having us.
Yes.
Thanks for joining.
It's our pleasure.
Congrats.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, congrats, Tim, on Alberta win. You and Dexter, way to go. That was nice.
And Carrie.
Yeah.
And Carrie.
I was a small part. I was a small part.
You were a bigger part than I was.
Yeah.
I stood there and clapped. But thank you. Congratulations to you guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Crazy week, as we've heard for sure. It's funny how like we seem to have something crazy happen at Masters almost every year.
Yeah.
Winnipeg flights get canceled. We all end up dropping last minute. BC, you have no water in a bowling alley and then a flood in the hotel. We have floods in 2013 in Calgary. We have floods in Quebec in 2019. It's wild. And this year we have the heat wave. Here we go.
Yeah. We'll just call this the Heat Dome year.
Yeah. Time to move the tournament a month.
August?
We were, we were a little lucky. I was along with Rick and Nigel. We were all in Newfoundland. So I know a lot of people compare Newfoundland. It gave us some idea what can happen. We did come somewhat prepared. Our bags were full of socks. Our bags were full of extra slide tips. We had everything prepared. What we were not prepared for is the lanes to become so sticky that even putting a sock on didn't help.
Didn't matter.
Yeah.
You could put a brand new sock on, not even touch anywhere else, put a sock on, throw the ball, and you still stuck. So, yeah. But we had a little bit of experience with that.
Yeah. I definitely believe that was our advantage as well, too. Having played in Newfoundland, we came very prepared. We brought probably 40 sliders.
Yeah. And I think Nigel was one of the 19 that was plus.
Yeah, there you go.
And he just backed up a foot. So he said if he falls down, he's good to go.
Fair.
That's commitment. I love it.
That's the opposite what I would think, but it does make some sense to it. Because I mean everybody's moving up, so they're not running at the line or jamming as fast, right? But moving back gives you an opportunity to barrel roll and still be in front of the line. So that's pretty smart there.
Yeah. Either way, it still hurt.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and Nigel was big plus. Nigel was 197 plus. That's that might be the biggest plus out of anybody.
Yeah. Proud mom.
Yeah, you're looking at other like totals minus 500, minus 300. Good ones are minus 30.
Yeah.
I see a plus 86, a plus 32. He probably had I'm scrolling through it quick, but he probably has the highest.
Yeah. So
I was plus 42, which
it
was scary. It was a battle all the way, I'll tell you.
Absolutely.
But you guys were just talking with the seniors team and talking about experience.
Mm-hmm.
So about back in May when the team was first designed and made, and I had started my chats with my guys because of course we're all over BC. One of the things I said was, okay, I did these little bowling maths for them. Going into this tournament, including this year, between the 6 of us, we had 53 attendances to nationals. Between us, we had 22 medals. We now have 29 medals now with Rick's extra one. So, I believe we didn't have any newbies on the team. I had one guy that was his second year. I really believe that was a big part of what my guys brought to the table. Yep. There was no fear of POA. There was no fear of changing conditions. They knew what they were doing. They knew what they had to do. So it made my life and my job very easy.
Absolutely. Yeah. And you guys won by quite a bit too. You guys,
300.
I'm sorry.
Sorry. I thought I seen somebody that was plus 300, Dexter.
seriously?
Oh, yeah. I think there was one.
322.
Hmm.
Tyler Britnell.
Oh, he bowled great.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's masterclass. When you can,
He's the one that got the POA money pot. That one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, for a single game.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. Anyway, sorry, I digress.
And you guys won it pretty handily, you know, with a game to go, it was over.
Yeah.
Yeah, we knew going into the last game, and I'm very honest. Like I said, with having no newbies, I'm not afraid to tell my guys exactly where they are.
Yeah.
And they all want to know. And I think it's important that they know as a team we needed to do it. They knew that if we took one line, we got it. There was nothing that could happen on the other lanes to change that. Gold medal was ours to give up. But I did ask them one thing. I said, I don't want a single game. I want the total. I don't care about your lines. I want the total. I want to go out with a team win. And they did. They came in on that last day knowing that if they had win, nobody could catch us mathematically.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what they did. They won all three that day. It was painful to win those three, but we did it. There was a couple close ones in there.
A win's a win.
Yeah, Manitoba gave us a good run, and we thought we were going to lose that one, but we managed. That was game 2, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah. The first game on plus 32, and like any plus game was massive.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
right?
For sure.
It's crazy. Awesome. And then Rick, once again, senior singles teaching singles champion. Wild. And won your last 3 games again to like make sure that that was that. That's your 5th?
Yep, my 5th.
That's crazy.
What helped in the stretch in those last 3 is the guys all behind me. I held the tiebreaker on all of them too, which was nice.
Yeah. That helps for sure.
Yeah.
How many Masters Nationals have you made, Rick?
11.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And 5 golds. How many of those singles?
5 singles gold and 3 team gold.
Yeah, but how many times have you been singles? All 5?
I mean 5 times singles and won all 5.
Yeah. He's won every time he goes to singles. Look out.
Yeah.
That's wild.
I just got somehow a different way of playing it when it's a match play. Like the way I go about trying to win my point. It's like sometimes I'm down and out and I bear down and something happens and the bowling gods are nice to me. That's all I can say.
I kind of attribute that a bit to our format here in BC too.
Oh, definitely.
And I think our format has a huge difference. And it's funny when we talked about this in the past where, every province does all of their tournaments different. How you get to nationals is very different. There's a few that are similar. With our teaching division and our seniors division, we run our 5 tournaments. You come to the provincials. Everything you've thrown is throw out. The only thing that counts is those scores count for your average. We also take your league averages. So the nice thing is when we get to provincials, the average is not going to be much different than when you get to nationals. You don't have that average shock, right? Because all of a sudden it's all changed. We're using the same games that you will be using going to nationals. It just gets updated with the extra league play. But then we're 100% match play. Every game. We got 16 games. We have 16 possible points. And it's usually 10 for the men, 11 make it for the team usually.
10 normally make it.
9 for the ladies sometimes.
Except for last year, 10 didn't make it. But when
So-
people drop out, you get the bowl.
Yeah. So the nice thing is you've got experience coming to the nationals. Even our first timers that are going to nationals, they understand how to play match play. They did it to get there. And I think that makes a difference. And BC has always said that since we made that change back in 90 something, it's made a big difference on our stats. Yeah. So Rick has already played all the games in provincials to figure out how to get his win.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's definitely a different format. I know in Alberta, I can only speak of us, and I haven't obviously played it, but sometimes you have 80 people, 40 and 40 trying out for 5 spots, right? And it becomes a war of attrition, not for the amount of games, but you're in there usually with 16 lanes. You're playing an hour plus a game. It's for 2 days back to back, right? So your format is in the way it's set up is very, very good in that aspect.
In the last couple of years too, we've had 20 to 24 women and 20 to 28 men. So, and that's for the teaching division, a little less for the seniors, but you're going 24 guys after 5 spots.
Yeah, it's growing.
Tough.
It's been growing every year for the last few years.
We've actually grown. Our teaching division has actually increased ever since Newfoundland, and it keeps going up a little bit. Just a little
awesome.
bit, but that's awesome. That's what we want.
Yeah, absolutely. That's really, really good. Any growth at all in any organization is great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just got to figure out how to get our tournament men to beat you guys.
Have you asked Mike Warren to?
Yeah, not
There's lots of close matches.
It's always
always
and
tough.
he's mad at me because I probably got as many goals as he's got silvers. He's
And
mad at me every time I come bowling.
He's so good. He's so good. But and that team was phenomenal. And you could see how much they grinded and how much they worked together. And it was awesome. I was really, really excited for him. Rick, how cool is it to go to nationals with your son?
Absolutely great. That's the second time or third time he's come along. Like Newfoundland, and where else did he go? Or is it only 2?
No, I think it's just the 2.
Yeah, just the 2, I think. Yeah. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. There's not a lot of people that get that opportunity.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
A lot of people actually, they still chuckle when they talk about Newfoundland, because I actually had the husband and the son on the team with me, and I was coach. And we won gold that year as well. And Rick got his singles, of course, right? So I always tell him I get half that medal, but whatever.
Of course.
Absolutely. But, very proud moment when you are there with your child and able to compete with your child. And I mean, this is probably the last year possibly for Nigel to have this opportunity with us losing that Terrace Bowling Lanes.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's a big, big loss for Masters here in BC.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely it is.
I mean,
now the closest center is like an hour away.
No, actually, from Terrace, it's 2 hours to Smithers, and that is not what you want. And it's 2.5 in the winter if it's safe.
Yeah,
it's not viable. It's they're going to try this year. I've talked to both Selena Kennedy, which is Jason's husband. They own Smithers at the moment. They're trying to sell, as well as with the Terrace Masters, and they're all going to give it a try this year. We probably will retain about half of them, is my guess, but we'll see how long that lasts. It's a very long drive. It's not safe. It's a big commitment. If they do it, the kudos to them. They deserve to be there every year.
Yeah. I would just recommend throwing a couple pre-bowls in there if the weather isn't good. At least there's an option there. So
yeah, they were looking at doing 2 weeks at a time, so they only go every second week. So they go over and they'll just make it a 3-game league because then it's just faster. So they'll do 6 games each week, and do it on a Sunday morning. So that's the plan at the moment.
That's smart.
Yeah,
that's smart.
We've got to figure out where to fit our tournaments into.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Yeah. So, yeah.
How is it coaching your son?
Actually, you know what?
This is a trick question. I guarantee you.
Actually, I've had a lot of people say to me when they, especially this year, any newbies didn't really know because I've changed my name back to my maiden name, so it's not as obvious. But they said they wouldn't have guessed that that was my son. When we're on the lanes, I'm not the mom, although there are always going to be moments. But I've been watching him bowl since he was a kid, although my sister has done a lot of coaching. My younger sister has done a lot of coaching with him since I left Terrace. But yeah, no, he's very responsive. He's, I don't get the attitude of shut up, mom, like I didn't get any of that this year. Probably
this year.
Well, Newfoundland, we might have had a little bit, but not too much. But I think that was because Dad was there too. So
Yeah.
but even there, people didn't realize not everybody put everything together, right? But there's a lot of people who are fully aware that Nigel's my son. So and I'm proud, Mom.
Of course.
Yeah.
You gotta be.
Generation.
You gotta be.
Yeah.
So Rick, out of your 5 gold medals for singles, where does this one rank?
Good question. Right up there. I think every one you get after the first one is better and better. Like it means more. You know, like it's almost like, okay, if I make it for my 6th time, okay, try and knock me off. I'm gonna grind out every ball and just keep going, see if I can get 6.
And he knows that the X is bigger on his back each year.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What I think I'm finding is, since I have won a few times here, the people that bowl me, when it gets to the later stage of a game, they're up there trying to concentrate on their ball, and it's not happening for them. It's like, I don't know if it's a little bit of pressure for them trying to knock me off. You know, I think that has a lot to do with it, actually. Because the last 6 games I did not bowl well and never made my average last 6.
Nope.
But I was winning points, so there you go.
Yeah.
By then, everybody's shoes were wet.
Oh yeah, it was horrible.
It was definitely a grind, especially the centers can only do so much, and unfortunately, the ones we have on today, we all persevere through it. So, very grateful on that end. So before we leave you guys, I know obviously you guys have some goals. I already know what Rick's is, getting his 6th single, so he doesn't have to say anything.
Make the team first.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that would be one.
Yeah, I always find it harder to do that. Make the team.
Yeah.
He had the big X on him at provincials too. So, yeah, coming for you, Rick.
Yeah.
See?
Well, I coach. I don't mind coaching.
Sure. Competitive coach first.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. But we'll leave you guys at that. I want to congratulate you guys again in persevering through the great week. So thank you very much,
Thank
guys.
you. Thank you.
You guys also.
Yeah.
Well
Thank
done.
you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks, everybody.
All right, have a good night.
Always good talking to you guys.
Yep. You too, Tim.
Later. All right. So we're on to the final guest that we're bringing on, minus us. So we want to, and she's probably our favorite. No, sorry guys. But our tournament ladies champion for singles, we have Heidi Mapstone.
Okay, favorite might be a bit of a stretch. I have never been assaulted by any one of our other guests.
We can make it a thing.
Welcome aboard. Congratulations once again, Heidi.
Thank you.
How are you feeling after the week? Has it sunk in?
No, not really. I keep telling people, hoping that it will sink in, but telling non-bowling people, like my work colleagues and whatnot, it just doesn't hit home the way it does.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
Is it nice that you could rub it in Brett's face forever now?
Well, I don't know.
You're too nice.
I know it's nice.
Yeah, that's how we describe Heidi. Heidi, yeah, she's too nice.
She's nice to Brett, and so I mean,
she is.
I have to live with that guy.
Yeah,
you make choices.
I don't know if they're good or not, but I made choices.
You have 2 kids. Those are 2 good choices. Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe so. Sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Timmy. Go ahead.
Let's go from, maybe we can start a little talk about provincials. Obviously, you've never had the opportunity to be a single in any provincials, from any provincials. So making singles was a goal of yours. And you got paired up with Matt, and outsider looking in, I think you guys were very good together. You guys practiced together, you guys worked together, you guys understood each other. Maybe explain that relationship and how it kind of helped progress your week the way it was.
Yeah, I mean, Matt and I are a similar age, and so we kind of grew up knowing who the other person was, and I've always felt comfortable with Matt. And so when I found out that he was going to be the single, I was like, this is probably one of the best situations that it could have been. And right away, we were messaging each other, trying to find out when we could make practices work. So we tried to practice once a week leading up to Masters. And all that was just to get used to each other's styles so that, you know, if the other person was struggling, we could come up with some key words so that we could help each other out. And I think definitely on my end that helped. He knew what he was looking for and he could say those one or two things. And when you're getting into that routine and you have something that's working, it takes the mental load off. So I was very appreciative of that.
Yeah, that's what's really cool about Masters, and I think that's it's one thing that's very different between Masters and the Open is that you are paired up with the other single. You get to play with each other the entire time. You know that's going to happen ahead of time, and it's cool that you guys utilize that to your best of abilities. You know, practice with that ahead of time to make sure that if there is an advantage with it, you guys had full advantage of it. Yeah. Smart.
Right. And so let's talk about the week you had. Obviously, like I said, all singles usually at Masters are usually pretty tight. You have one bad day, brings you back into the pack, or you have one good day, brings you up there. It's always super tight going into the last couple of days. And I know that you're always either first or in the top three throughout the event. What was kind of your mindset as you're moving on throughout it? Was there? I know you only had one kind of a streak of 3 losses in a row, but you've kind of went back at it with 3 wins in a row, right?
Yeah, I remember just trying to stay in the moment and knowing like singles play so fast. Like when you're on a team, you have 4 or 5 other players that are going and you kind of have a little bit of extra time to think about what you're going to try the next shot if it's not working. And I knew I wasn't going to have that in Masters. So I knew, or for the singles, so I knew that I needed to just stay in the moment and trust what was working before and just go with it. And then, when I got on the losing streak, I remember going to the bathroom and saying, well, I better figure this out because I can't keep this trend going.
And you did. I mean, you followed it back with 259 and 292, right?
And
but to finish that day, like that's huge, right? Those are massive scores in this scenario, you know?
Yeah.
Where was that at? Where were you guys bowling that day? Day 2.
Hopedale.
Day 2 is Hopedale.
Because I think you guys played Waterdown the last day, and you played Echo the first day, if I remember.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah. It's definitely it was. I mean, coming in and finishing up the last 2 games the way you did definitely gives you the momentum going to the next day where you needed it. So.
Well, and it makes you feel that you finish that day feeling good, rather than having to like sit there and be like, "Oh shit," you know.
Yeah, it's not a good feeling to start the next day feeling like you're in the hole.
Correct.
So we're sitting here looking at the weather as we're going out there, and we're starting to get a pretty good idea that it's going to get difficult. And then game 1 happens, and you shoot 181, and you win your match. How much does that like A kind of calm you down and B kind of set you up for the week where you're like, okay, you know what? It is going to be tough, and it's going to be tough on everyone, and everyone's going to have good scores and everyone's going to have bad scores. So I'm just going to, bear down and do what I can. How much does that first game, despite it being 181, how much does that actually help you?
Yeah, it definitely got some of the nerves out because I was laughing at myself. I had made a comment at breakfast that I don't often have those low games So I thought that was my advantage going into it. And then I start with one of those low games. So I was like, I said this wasn't going to happen. And here it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I was also like, I had to change my shoe right away. So warm up, my regular shoes weren't sliding at all. So I had brought the backup pair knowing that it was going to be key and I might need them. And I did. I had to switch right away.
The good thing was, like, that was also your low game of the tournament, right?
Yeah.
Like, you got it out of the way and then you never looked back. Yeah, sure, you didn't maybe throw as high games as you were expecting, but I don't think anybody did.
No.
But you held your own, and we were kind of joking around about the Hall of Fame effect. You were playing solid, you weren't throwing real bad games, you weren't throwing massive games, but everybody was playing at your level. They weren't going out there and crushing you, which is obviously has got to give you some a little bit of confidence too, knowing like, hey, I may not be playing at my best, but I'm matching what they're doing against me, so it's not a huge detriment to you.
Yeah. The whole week I was like, it's not going to continue. Like, everyone is going to get better. Everyone's going to throw bigger games and I'm going to have to step up. And it didn't really happen that way. It just, everyone kind of stayed in and around that same level. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I was joking with Matt before. I said, if anyone can grind out tournaments, it's Matt and I.
Yeah.
And if this is going to
100%.
be a grindy type tournament, then that's an advantage that I have. I can grind them out.
Absolutely. We made the same comment.
Mm-hmm.
You know you could figure it out, and you're mentally resilient, and that's what it takes. That's what it takes. You just can't let it eat you alive, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You can't dwell on the bad parts, and you can't let the big parts carry you away. You have to stay in the moment all the way through.
Yeah, the bad was gonna happen. There's no way around it. It was just keeping even keel about it.
Yeah, and mitigating your mistakes, right? I mean, it kind of is what it is that way. But I mean, I guess for yourself, Heidi, and Matt being your partner, so to speak, you guys have experienced a lot of things out there. So I think that experience definitely comes into play with this situation, right? So I guess let's talk about a little bit about the step ladder. You were either going to play Joanne or Brooke. There was a roll off for third place between Brooke, Jesse, and Tracy, and Brooke won. And then so Brooke beat Joanne in best 2 out of 3. She won the last 2. Joanne won the first one. And obviously, you had to play Brooke, but I had the opportunity to watch you in the pit practicing, and it just seemed like you're way more calmer than normal. Like you're always calm, but it just seemed that you were so in control. I felt from you practicing to you throwing your games. Maybe talk about your mindset in that situation.
Yeah, after Open Nationals, I really worked on that mental focus side of it and just not letting the emotional side take over and just, almost being clinical about each shot and what was happening so that I could recover and, execute what I wanted to execute. And I really did work on that leading up to Masters.
Mm-hmm. How did you work on that, if you don't mind me asking?
I did some visualization. I did some meditation, just trying to keep the mind calm and being okay with the mind being empty so that I could solely focus on what was happening in front of me.
That's awesome. That's really good advice.
I don't think she was looking to give anybody advice. You asked her.
No, but yeah, you're right. Tim also focuses on his mind being empty.
Huh? What are you guys saying? No, it was definitely great. I mean, you had a lot of support behind you. I know we talked afterwards, and I think what I was most impressed with when we talked about was you obviously have opportunities to play step ladders on teams many times, and you mentioned that you're always the fear of failure for those people supporting you, and this time turn around, you already knew you were, whatever you did was going to be good, right? You're going to be good no matter what. That's definitely a huge different mindset, right? You were already in the mindset of winning instead of the mindset of failing. Does that make sense? So that was very impressive in your medal. It was really good.
Yeah, the support behind me for that step ladder day was phenomenal. I hope it's like I want that to happen again, but I also don't want to expect it. But it was amazing to have everyone behind me offering to get me water, cooling, holding fans in front of me, giving me snacks.
Yeah.
It's like I have never had that happen before, and it was amazing. And then to have everyone from Alberta cheering me on, and this time I heard it as support. It didn't matter if I won or lost; it was support. Everyone was going to be super proud of me, and yeah, it was amazing just to listen to it.
Yeah.
We were happy to do it. Obviously, seeing you succeed, and like we knew Brooke was going to be a tough cookie. She played, obviously beat Joanne. She wasn't going to be an easy fight, and even seeing you lost that second game, your demeanor, nothing changed, and it was very inspiring to watch that and just know Heidi's got this. She's just going to be as silly as it sounds. Everybody kind of in this area watching you play is like, oh, that's Heidi. She does, nothing phases her. She's going to get through this. It doesn't matter. And yeah, it was inspiring to watch for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I will say I was super nervous to play Brooke because she did average quite well through the qualifying, and then to have that momentum carrying you into those final matches, I knew that it was likely going to get pretty tough. But again, I just focused on my own shot, and I tried not to let what she was doing bother my process.
Yeah.
And if I'm being 100% honest, I tried to play off that confidence and like staying flat to try and get into her head a bit. I don't know if it worked, but
there's something to say. A lot of those players don't watch each other play. Like they're always looking somewhere else. They're not. But if you don't show confidence, it's hard to instill that confidence in the other player, right? Like if you seem nervous, you look nervous. If you look distraught, they're going to pick up on that, even if they're not watching you.
Yes, they will notice. They will notice any chink in the armar.
Yeah. And Brooke had a really good mental game too. You can watch; she was very well prepared. So
it was awesome.
Yeah. So I guess obviously it hasn't sunk in yet. Like we have to ask the question: what does it mean to you? Right, and like obviously, I think that's just any notion of you wondering, well, I'm a Hall of Famer. I don't know if I deserve it because that you're very modest. I think this definitely just proves that point, Heidi, right? And solidifies that. And what are your goals for the future?
Yeah, I mean, the singles win has been something that I've been looking for since I started bowling. And so to finally get the first one is amazing. I hope that there are a couple more down the road. And looking forward, I guess my focus will definitely be on the open singles win so I can try and get that double crown.
Yeah.
I think it's a lot harder coming from Alberta to get the open singles, but
yeah.
As obviously players in the Alberta province and stuff like that, and Tim's being a lot closer to capturing a singles title than me and Dexter in that regard. I think it's always cool watching an Alberta player come home with the single, knowing like what they went through to get to that point, and then not watch it slip away because I was very very disheartening when you know the next chance might be quite a few years down the road, right?
It's such a tough road to hoe.
Yeah. I will say, I think I know Brad didn't say it, but me and Brad would probably mutually say we took notes on how to win. Because our 5 or 4 second place finishes in the last 10 years, you definitely showed us. So congratulations, Heidi, on that. But yeah, you never know when your next one is, right? And for you to capitalize on that, and maybe your only chance, you never know. I hope there's more. It's definitely a feat that you can never forget about, right? So
yeah, for sure. Trying to live in that moment and and appreciate the moment while still trying to focus on what needed to be done.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah,
perfect. Well,
now you have that before Brett, so that's even better.
But I will rub it in when he gets his next one. He will rub it in for sure.
Oh, for sure he will.
Yeah, you should honestly. We should have. Now we know this. We should have just taken you out for the final match for traditional. I probably would have got done. So
yeah.
Well, I don't know.
All right,
I think the head pins when I was runner up too. So.
Yeah, fair.
True.
Fair. But no, no, you did a wonderful job, Heidi. We're proud of you. We'll leave it at that before we get into any more digs, and then Brett's mad at us. So we'll leave it at that. But congratulations again, Heidi, on a job well done.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Super proud of you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Congrats, Heidi. We'll talk to you later.
Yeah. See ya.
All right.
Cool.
Should I let you guys out and invite you back in? Is that how we do it?
No,
never.
You're gonna do that to yourself?
No. Nobody's gonna be on.
We all leave and just don't come back.
Just the way the podcast finishes, right?
No one cares about listening to us talk, anyways. But
maybe let's talk about us, not us, but just about maybe the tournament wins. We can talk about. I have to say it was we can talk about the conditions after it, but it was tough for everybody, I think, out there. There was a lot of very talented players out there that struggled, and very talented players that changed their bowling styles. If you saw, like I said, mentioned Bobby Herman and Tyler kind of had the same kind of thing where they did a run out shot. Brad was throwing slower than most of the seniors out there. And I just it was tough for everybody out there. I do want to shout out. Yeah, Karen and I had threw 2 pins. I'll be the first one to throw that out there, and Derek. But Jeff Watts threw a gutter. So
good point.
True.
Yeah, so I want to throw that out there. If I'm going to throw myself,
also, we threw our 2 pins at Echo, but Brad Glynn threw his at Waterdown.
Yeah. Ooh.
But Tim, you're also 2 for 2 at Nationals this year, throwing a 2-pin.
I was, yeah. It's just to break the ice, right? So, I mean,
break the ice. The first game, first game of the day in Echo.
Yeah,
that really instilled confidence into you.
Yeah, it was like I mentioned, it was tough. Shane threw a 2-pin as well. I do want to mention that. Live stream was pretty good about that, but it like with tournament masters, every team is always a good team. And I think I have to say that I think it was a war of attrition. I know there's some teams that got frustrated more than others. Everybody tried to some extent. And I know for our team, I can only speak on behalf of our team. We try to handle it professionally. We've all been in positions before. Sure Bowl sponsored heels and sliders. We got that all covered. And we were cutting and sliders and into heels from sliders into heels. It was just nuts, right? And we were trying our best, as I can only speak on our team. And we figured it out to the best of our ability, as everybody else did.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we were doing arts and crafts between every game almost, right? And but again, we were in Newfoundland. We kind of had an idea of what to expect. We knew it could get shitty really quick, and it did. Probably worse than anybody could have ever imagined. But I'm super proud of you guys, because not once did I see you guys ever get super frustrated. Never.
I think it was to the point, like, you couldn't be frustrated because you knew everybody was going through it. It wasn't just like, oh, my shoe is the one that's sticking. It was everybody. So, like, how could you get frustrated, right? Like, yeah, it sucks, but like, you knew everybody else was playing through it. So, like, it looked pretty silly of you to be frustrated with it and being distraught about it when everybody else had to deal with it.
Yeah.
So it's just stick to your guns, grind it out, figure a way to get the ball down the lane to the middle.
Yep.
Was essentially the plan for, like, literally the last half of the third day. It was like, I just don't want to shoot a $150 and owe the team around. Like, let's go.
Yeah. The especially, I mean, we played Echo day 2 and day 3, and we knew it was good after day 1 there. So day 2 there. We knew day 3 was going to deteriorate. We just knew it was going to be a thing. So we actually sat down and had a team talk, and we went through our how we were going to plan it. I mean, what else are we going to do, right? So we had, okay, at this point, if it gets this bad, we're going to try this, and we had things prepared. And like I said, like, I give Dex kudos. Obviously, it's a little bit different when he is a coach and as a player. It's a little bit different. It's not the same, but you're just as much part of the team, and you kept it cool. Like, there was no anxiety. There was
panic,
no panic. And we talked through it. And I think, like, I will say, like, the 6 of us, including yourself, Dex, we all grew up together. We've all been in the pit together many times. So it wasn't like, it was abnormal for us to have these conversations or these talks. It was something normal to us. Where if it was maybe a couple, like 3 people from one group and 2 people we never played with, it might be a little bit different. But we've had a good rapport with all 6 of us together for many years. It just felt normal.
Yeah.
I
completely agree with you. And I think we did a lot of really good things in the pit. Again, we never really got frustrated. Communication was really good. Like, I could go back and I could talk to somebody and be like, hey, what are you thinking? Or like, okay, this is what's happening. What can we do to get this rectified? Or what can we do to make this easier? And but I definitely do think our preparedness is really the reason for our success. I think it showed, and I think if you look at the stats, like, as days went on, especially in the days in Echo, as days went on, we got better. Like, our scores stayed the same, if not got better. And while things got deteriorating for everybody else, we found ways, right? And it's a different kind of tournament. There's a lot of tournaments where conditions are pristine, and it's everybody going out and throwing it to the absolute best of their ability, and you got to outmatch them. And this was a different one. This was try to outthink them in a way, you know. And I think we did a good job of that.
Yeah, it's always one thing to say when you get, like, obviously the best conditions and you don't run into these issues. You're playing the teams at their best, and that's when you hope you succeed and you can be truly crowned the best team that week, right? Coming into this, like, going into day 2, it was like you're almost in survivor mode. It's like, yeah, I can play as hard as I can, but I know I'm not going to throw my best, but I just want to be a little bit better than the other guy.
Yeah.
And that's all you're looking at, essentially, is like, nobody was playing their best. Like, Tyler might be the enigma where he was plus for a scratch player. I don't know if there was any other scratch plus.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Maybe Jordan
crazy.
Jordan
and Shoes. Yeah. Jordan played really well.
I mean, both of them are fantastic players too, right?
Yeah.
And maybe Richard off Northern Ontario, he played really well too. I think
Got
he
in.
averaged like 260 or something like that. He was throwing really well.
249.
Okay, so maybe not, maybe a little bit below, but
I just think like if you look across, and this is just a generalized statement, you look across all of them, obviously the conditions were a lot different than anybody could ever expected. There were some teams for teaching or seniors was minus 3,000 and winning teams were minus almost 1,000. Like it was across the board. Right. And I just think that one of my thing is, and you guys as maybe I'm getting old. I don't have, I will never have 83 national or 84 master appearances between us, but our team has done a lot over the years. And I just felt like you guys make fun of me because I bring my ball bag. I brought my backpack. I'm prepared. Like I learned over the years, like I have my shoes, I have a change of clothes, I have heels and sliders, I have new underwear so I can swap out halfway through. Like, you just never know anymore with these things. And I think, I hope people understand it's not because of our success this weekend. There was other teams in the tournament division that did very well. I just think being prepared is obviously something I think people are now knowing is that much more important.
I think there's a lot to be said. Like you're right. Like being prepared for anything is really good, and obviously is going to catch you less off guard for sure. But and this is kind of where my critique is, and I know there's lots of talks behind grounds. Like I know the Masters had a meeting, and I don't want to take anything away from what has already been put in place for the future. And the C5 obviously has a lot of talks behind the scenes too, rule changes and all that stuff. But at what point do the centers step up and also prepare for the conditions? Because we're saying the players got to bring 2 bags to nationals to be ready. Like the players can keep adapting, can keep changing, but if it gets dangerous and it gets scary for players, they're gonna stop playing.
Yeah,
and that's not the players' fault.
Yeah,
So,
100%. And I completely agree. And these weekends are kind of anomaly, but as Tim said, it's going to become more frequent. We've seen it twice now in 4 years, and it really was never an issue before that. And some of that is the changing of like equipment and stuff too, because you know what, I think synthetic lanes are probably worse for it. For those sorts of things. I mean, it's a lot better for a lot of things, but not necessarily for extreme weather. And there's things that I can't speak to on yet for Masters, but there are things that have gone through already in our first meeting, and step one is like we've already prepared for dehumidifiers, because I mean even if it is hot, it's the humidity that's really the issue. And if we can get rid of that humidity in centers to make it safe for people, that's what's going to happen. And that is truly the safety is the important part. Two, I completely agree. And like the centers did everything they could to an extent, but I think it's definitely time that we can make sure that we have some good walkthroughs and stuff beforehand, and just if centers need a hand with things, there are so many people, so many good resources out there that can help. And whether that means foul lights or bumpers or machines or lifters or things like that, the ball detects,
foul lines.
There are so many things that we can do to help, and and I think it's time that we utilize those resources.
Yeah. I will say, like, I can't speak on behalf of Waterdown or Hopedale, because I honestly it was normal. Like, it was anything like, but I thought Echo with Dave and them were prepared. Like, they tried they were on tangles, they were on on any maintenance issues. They had a little issue. But he fixed it. Score corrections. I mean, we're doing score corrections, and he's already beat us to it.
Yeah, the judge of plays were phenomenal. The staff at the centers were also phenomenal.
Yeah, they were really good there. But you're right. I think this is a learning curve. Unfortunate learning curve. And I think something like dehumidifiers or things like that. I guess what I'm saying is that something that I think we all have to look into is preventable situations before it becomes a reaction, right? And
exactly.
So I mean that's something like that I will have a discussion with on our end. It's just, okay, what happens if this situation happens? How do we handle that? Or I mean, it was 49 degrees in the bowling center. You can't tell me if there was a better time to play, because there wasn't. At any point of that day, it was going to be terrible, and you can't move the tournament a couple days back. So how are we going to figure that out, right? And that's not a Masters thing. That's just really just a bad pill that you have to swallow and figure that out. I don't know what the right.
And the only other critique I have, and you guys don't have to weigh in on this because I know you have a lot of ties to both associations where I don't, and I can be a little more fluid with my words. In no world would I ever thought that at the highest competition in a scratch division that we would be using those scores from a provincial qualifier to decide team totals. To me, the emergency spare situation obviously makes a lot of sense, but when everybody's averaging a lot less than probably what they normally would, but they get to use their qualifying score or however the average was decided coming into the event and using 85% of it for a scratch division team total, I have a major issue with that. And I know a lot of other people have a major issue with that. So I'm not sure if that's something that's going to be looked at. And this is where I get to be fluid. And if people disagree with me, they can definitely message me about it. But I feel in the scratch divisions, the best of the best need to be playing. And if you can't compete and it's a safety issue, I would hope there's another avenue besides here's 85% of your non-national average because we have no other options is a scary way to possibly decide medals. It's really scary.
And you know what, I do completely agree with you, but I also understand the other side of it as well to some extent. I never want to see that either. No, yeah, I don't. Okay. I have no issue weighing in like that. I don't. It's fine. I do understand to some extent, but I do agree with you. I think at the end of the day, I think we need to. We're going to look at things. They always do every year after things, and frankly,
and that's what I like about it. It's actually being looked at, and discussions are happening because of. It's not just one-off. This happened in Newfoundland. So for some people in those positions saying this is a one-off, it's not.
Yeah. No.
So let's not.
The mass exodus is a one-off. And even in Newfoundland, despite the conditions, you didn't have the negatives that came out of it that we did at this. And the 85%. Doe score is and no chance of winning that individual match in every other scenario has been a big enough deterrent that wasn't it. But the conditions were so bad at this one that it became an advantage, and that is an abnormality. But that's an abnormality that we need to look at and see how that works. I do understand wanting to use a Doe score in those situations because you know what, I don't want to see a team from BC fly across in Newfoundland and then somebody goes down, there is an emergency spare, they're stuck with a Doe or they're stuck with a 0 and their tournament is over after day one and they've just spent thousands and thousands of dollars to not be able to compete.
See, I wouldn't mind, I know it wouldn't be possible like early in the tournament, but possibly 85% of their national average at that event, because then it becomes
Yes.
more punitive,
And,
right? Because there's a reason why they're stepping out because of the safety issue, right?
I 100% agree too, but I think if that is the case, then there needs to be a threshold for that number as well, because you could come in and you could shoot 350 your first game and be like, see ya.
or
Right.
or you reduce the dose score to 60%, and then
Yeah.
you do a combination, whichever is less.
Yeah, or exactly,
Yeah.
or 100%, or you see the composite averages used for teaching and things like that too, and like maybe that's an option. There's going to be discussions.
Let's hope this never happens
we don't
again.
100%. But like I said, devil's advocate, I see both sides, but I completely agree with you. Where I never want to see that happen either. Whether that means we expand the emergency rosters or have things like, but like,
yeah.
I hope we never see a day again. If we do a good enough job of making things safe, then we'll never have to see this issue again.
Because there was 2 medical emergencies at this national. One was a fall in the lane, and the other one was overheat exhaustion. There's clearly safety issues, and obviously things need to be done and stuff like that. And I'm glad that there's discussions happening that this is hopefully never going to be an issue again. We're doing preventative measures. The amount of fans I seen in that building, you could have probably brought another 300 in there, and I don't think it would have been enough. It was this hot air moving around.
No,
it was gross.
I mean, you guys kind of hit the nail on the head there. It's tough.
That's a great thing about these podcasts. We can talk and we can voice the opinion of, we know that talks were happening all over the event. So that's what this podcast is for. We're just not here to prop up the status quo. We're here to make changes and to help move the conversation forward, and we hope we're doing it. So
yeah, I struggle. I know, like, I don't know how to say it properly, but I know, like, obviously we're in a different situation. I know it was tough conditions, right? And do I think it was unsafe? I think in some aspects it could have been, with the amount of heat in the building and how sticky it was. But I also, like, as a competitor, not besides the heat or anything like that, take the heat out and take the humidity out, and just that, making sure you're hydrated in that. I think there were solutions for to work through it, like how some other teams did, right? I was more frustrated with it's automatically comes down to, we don't want to play, right? And there's I understand that situation. I also understand there's ways we can figure out how to play in a relatively safe way, right? Now, is it the best optimal competitive level? No, unfortunately not, right? And I think that was my frustration. There's ways to go around it, and I wish more people figured that out. Unfortunately, it just didn't work out that way. But I do understand the fear of falling. And I understand, like I'm not trying to single her out, but somebody like Sarah who's pregnant and falling, that's a very serious situation there, right? Yeah. And you have to take that very serious, right? Yeah. But I mean, the dose score situation is unfortunate too, and I think, again, that's going to be looked at, and I'm super appreciative of that. I know, like, he had some teams had an opportunity to take a dose score or use their alternate, and they chose to take a dose. And I think that's the part that maybe we have to look at, right? On that situation.
The other thing too is, I'm not sure what Safe Sports look at it is like, when the Humidex got so much, like, the conditions for bowling wasn't really ideal, and obviously there was a lot of people that couldn't even bowl because of injuries and stuff like that. But at what point do we look at you can't go play slow pitch at 40 degrees outside because of heat exhaustion? That's a safe sport rule. Like, at what point does the associations look at that too, because that's a dangerous situation. Like you're right, you can intake as much water as you want, but
100%. And you know, honestly,
we were sweating just standing there.
I was, and thankfully for Sin for buying those fans. I mean, it was crazy. Like she went on and got like 5 fans for us. A bunch of middle-aged men needing these fans. But you're right. You know, I was actually watching FIFA World Cup, and you have a hydration break now, right? And I was almost thinking like it was probably like you're thinking about they probably don't have open play after. They could have built extra time in. You know what? Like I'm thinking like, you know what? Maybe after a couple games, maybe after 2 games, we had a 15-minute hydration break. Everybody between us, they got to use the bathroom. They got to go outside. You know, maybe in those situations, that is important. I don't know, because people are not taking care of themselves while they're playing half the time. Like these are things that we don't think about, and maybe it is something we have protocols in any event that, hey, you know what? Maybe we need a 15-minute break to make sure everybody's good.
Yeah.
And that's something we never thought about. But I was thinking on, you know, they do it for soccer, and I know we're more peak condition than those guys running on the field.
Oh,
but,
obviously.
Yeah, obviously, right? So, yeah.
It's just I kind of looked up here a few days ago just to kind of look at it, and it's like if the Humidex exceeds 40 plus, like you got to be looking at reducing activity, or like you're saying, Tim, maybe you do a 2-game interval and then you take a break and hydrate and then you start competition again. There's definitely ways, like I think 6 games straight in that heat was probably dangerous, honestly, looking back at it. And hopefully that gets looked at. Like that type of Humidex is probably not going to happen very often. And if these other steps are being taken, like dehumidifiers and stuff like that, hopefully we'll never run into this situation again. It's always nice to look back at hindsight, because it is 2020 and we can make these judgments, and hopefully they get acted upon and everybody's the brighter for it.
This might be the best compliment Tim has ever heard.
Big time.
Hey, you know, there's not a lot of Tims left. We have to stick together. So
yeah. You guys should take a picture together.
But no, but you're right. Like, I mean, there's these things that we don't think about until it's you know what, Nathan, I did think about it, but then I looked outside, it was still 26 and humid. Like it was still like it was a few it was 2 degrees. It just wasn't a cool down, but that was an option too, right? So
like you would almost have to do it at 4 a.m.
Yeah,
right, to have the building cool off first before you get in there.
Yeah.
So
and I think honestly, yeah, and they said, what about the spectators? The spectators, it wasn't going to change anything. It definitely wasn't. Yeah, right. It was just it was crazy. And we're gonna laugh about it in 10 years. I mean, the last bad one was Manitoba in 2014. I played the team last time, and that was the last time I played. Right. So
yeah, sure. I want to touch on this a little bit too, Cheryl. I agree with this. So her comment is each venue needs to provide fans when necessary. When a venue refuses to bring in extra fans, that was largely disappointing. Venue needs to be responsible as well. I tend to agree with you. And there was a lot of talk back and forth about whose responsibility is it. And I think I definitely think it's both. I think it's 3 people. I think it's personal responsibility. You are making a personal choice to be there. You are undertaking the risk of competing in those conditions, and that is a personal choice. But Masters needs to have some responsibility with it. We want to make sure everything is safe for the players, and the venue needs to make sure it's safe as well. I mean, at the end of the day, we are renting a facility to host these events, and when you're renting a facility, you kind of expect the facility to be safe for the players as well. And I think, and I think there's extremes to everything, and there's sometimes where it just doesn't work out the way anybody anticipated. So as I do believe that the facilities are the ones that are responsible, but I do think that this shows the need for the associations to be more hands-on with that as well. And that's something that we're capable of doing, and I think we should do.
To touch on, like, they refused to bring in fans, was that a financial, or was that they're saying, sorry, if you have a fan that's such and such a size, we're not going to allow it in? I'm sure it was a financial decision that they probably didn't have the funds set aside to rent industrial fans, but I'm sure if you would have said, I'll pay for it, they weren't going to deny it. So I think that comment's probably a little skewed. But
And the AC, honestly, the AC was overused and
it was overloaded right away.
And part of the fans I know for sure was that, like, the third day, when it was the worst day without question, was also Canada Day, and the issue was nothing was open, so they couldn't just go get industrial fans. Now I think we could have probably jumped on that before, but yeah.
Truly, I don't know if that helps, because where were you going to move the hot air?
Well, yeah, you're just blowing it around in circles.
It was a humidity issue more than a moving air issue.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many comments going on right now. They had a coaches meeting. Do you think it should be coaches or majority of bowlers to decide when to stop?
I think they should be included in the discussion, but
I think there is the protocol of how things are done, and your concern should be gone to the coach, and the coach should make those choices. But I also think that, like, there's almost a point where somebody above all of that just makes the choice. You're gonna have 1,000 opinions coming in, and I think there needs to be somebody that's an expert that says, you know what, this is what we're going to do. These are the reasons why we're going to do it. Because if you're sitting there waiting for an opinion from everybody all the time, a decision is never going to be made. So it's tough.
Especially when they were looking for consensus. It's hard to get consensus on any topic, especially at a national competitive level. So having that overriding rule is probably the best situation. It may not be one you agree with and all that stuff, but like we said, that we know there's discussions behind the scenes happening about making conditions better for the future. And like I said, open forum, that's why we talk about it, and we like to hear everybody's thoughts, but we're not pointing the fingers at anybody. We, like Dexter was saying, we feel that all parties were responsible, and in the end, it is something we can look back at, and it was a national that was held, and hopefully there was a learning experience from it, and hopefully people took some good from it too. So,
on a side note, I mean, we talked about bringing heels and sliders. We brought them. I always thought, like, somebody, like, you should have a table set up, not so much for bowling balls or shoes, obviously, but for things like that. People can buy from. Yeah, accessories. I mean, like, people would be going through all of it, right? So,
the amount of chalk I actually seen that didn't work, like, what a waste of chalk money.
I chalked, like, I don't chalk. I was wearing an S12, and my slider was white, and
I gained an S12 because it worked exactly like an S2. Did nothing.
Oh, well, I honestly, if you look at, I was pretty lucky. Once I got through the first step, it was pretty normal for me, but I had to get through the first step. It doesn't show by my average, but I mean, I did it.
Nice.
But yeah, I know I'm grateful that the Masters were the guinea pig in this situation, and it wasn't me. And
wasn't the open.
I want to reiterate that all the champions are still champions. All the champions absolutely earned it, and it's a different kind of event. But I still think the best teams won. I do. It's a team event, and you had to work really hard to be successful. I don't think there's a lot of luck involved with this one in any capacity.
No, you're probably right there. Let's
be fair. I was really lucky when I struck a few times. So, like, there's a lot of luck that was.
that's bowling as a whole. That's bowling as a whole.
I've been fortunate enough to win a championship in the past, And each championship, you remember it for a certain reason, right? And it's not a negative connotation, but you look at perseverance, and this is what we'll remember this one from, is the trials and tribulations and the perseverance we went through on it. Other ones are certain things like that, but it will never forget this championship in general for what everybody went through. So, yeah.
Yep.
Wow, these guests really dragged on their time, eh?
I know.
Yeah.
Actually, they were ahead of schedule.
Like
They were ahead of schedule.
75.
The other guests were ahead of schedule, and here we are just chatting away.
Yeah.
It's always a good discussion, though.
Yeah.
But yeah, with that being said, tune in this Sunday. 5 field finals.
Sunday.
Crushers.
Yep.
Maybe.
5 p.m.
We'll talk.
coming to an end.
Finally.
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 Just in time for relegation.
The relegation's coming up too, yeah.
Yeah, relegation's happening and expansion is happening. So soon we'll be in season 6.
Yep.
Yikes.
Yeah. Be some changes in season 6. So
Oh, there's some things coming through the grapevines.
yeah. You
But,
think you're safe? You're not.
Yeah, exactly. But with that being said, thanks everybody for joining in. Thanks for the large crowd and for all the input. And feel free to carry on the conversation in the comments of this video as much as you want. And yeah, we'll talk to you all later.
Yeah. Thank you.
Have a good one,
Thanks,
guys.
everybody.
Thank you.